Thanks for watching the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community. I'm one of your hosts, Juan.
And I'm your other host, John Paul Leek. And together we are
Road Break. How's every single one of you today? Thank you so very much for watching us. Thank you so very much for keep supporting the best show in the entire YouTube community. And right now, family, we're still in isolation. We're still done. We're still inmates, but we're trying to keep positive energy. We're trying to keep you, in good spirits, cheer you up, make sure that you guys are enjoying the content. And right now we have actually predictions for what is going to be the biggest show in the world. The most popular event in sports entertainment. I'm just pumping it up because it's not really the truth. But go ahead, John Paul.
Yeah, I'm saying the biggest WrestleMania yet, as they're coining it, or whatever the dumb bullshit phrase is, the 2-night event, or it's too big for one night or something like that. But this show, to me, this feels like lackluster. It was almost like, oh yeah, there's the biggest pay-per-views coming up, but it doesn't feel like it. And I feel like that's mostly to blame, with the coronavirus and everything. I feel like that's kind of taken, everybody's attention and focus. But even if that wasn't going on, I feel like the show still wouldn't feel as, it still wouldn't feel as grand. It was to me, I feel like I was more excited for the Royal Rumble than I was for this. Lot more excited.
Like you said,
it could be
probably one of the messiest WrestleMania build-ups, 50-50, like you said, 50-50, because 50 coronavirus, 50 Vince McMahon's, I will say, stubbornness to wanting to keep going, keep the show going, wanting to produce WrestleMania despite every single one in the world telling him, can we please postpone? Nobody ever mentioned canceling. Well, everybody said, yes, move it to, a different month, but that didn't come to fruition. He actually kept the show going, so we're going to review it. But like Jean Paul is saying, the show is too big for one night, so we're going to have it split up in 2 nights, one whole weekend. We're going to be covering WrestleMania. Saturday and Sunday is going to start at 6 p.m. with the pre-show, and it's going to go all the way to 10:15, both nights, Jean Paul. Both nights, it's going to be 7 to the main show to 10:15, 10:30. That's what is staying in the WWE Network. Also, Fox and WWE, they got another deal. They worked just that out, and they're going to have on Tuesdays, they're going to have more wrestling. They're going to have it starting today with the whole Royal Rumble. And they're going to have the whole Royal Rumble from 7 to 11 p.m. and then another episode of Backstage. So it's going to be a different format. So maybe we will see CM Punk and everything.
Did you see when Jon Moxley was on Backstage?
Yes. So we have it on the show. Yeah, we have it on the show. He came out and he's like, oh, here's the cat. And then he's like, oh, look at the cameo. And they were laughing. I mean, they kept it legit. They kept it legit. So it was cool. It was cool to see Jon Moxley. He actually today, Jean Paul, he tweeted and he wished all the best to all the WWE superstars. He said to my, my Shield brothers and all of that, is I wish you the best. I hope all of you are doing fine and well. I'm good. So, we're, I will say a Class A worker. Great stuff.
And an even better human being, and that just shows they're you can leave WWE and you don't have to be bitter. He probably hates the company, but it's he's not going to take it out on his friends, and his fellow wrestlers, and especially at a time like this, it's you put that stuff aside.
So Mr. Egg, we have 16 matches to cover, so let's start from the beginning. Let's get into it, Jean Paul. WWE Women's Tag Team Championship Match, Kabuki Warriors, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Who wins and why?
Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross win, and hopefully it's for the reason that, they're booking it in Juan's favor so he can be happy and, have at least one good WrestleMania moment. But, no, in all seriousness, I think they're going to win it, and hopefully they do, because I think Asuka and Kairi Sane are deader than dead. You need to split them up, even though they have a legit tag music. I do like their new theme. Just split them up, turn them both face, because when Shayna Baszler hopefully wins the title, she's going to need people to feud with. And you could even do something, or just turn them face, and you could even do Kairi Sane kind of going against Shayna Baszler, like I said on the Raw review, and then maybe have Asuka. We get Asuka going against the returning Ronda Rousey. Ronda can return heel and team up with Shayna, and then she can be the heel to go against Asuka as a face. You can do armbar versus armbar, But I think a change is needed for the Kabuki Warriors, and they miss having Alexa Bliss on Instagram holding a belt. So that's why I think they're going to do the title change.
Absolutely, I have to agree with you because they need Alexa Bliss like having goal, and because of her looks, because of like her personality, whatever it is, her lack of wrestling ability, like she always like gets people to watch, and having her with gold, it will be a lot better. I will say the Kabuki Warriors are so amazing, but I feel that like these titles are kind of more like a joke. They're not serious, so you're gonna put it
Oh
on
yeah.
Nikki and Alexa. I think they did a little better, and when I say that, it's just because I guess people were more interested rather than the Kabuki Warriors, and because
Yeah,
it's like
but yeah,
outside, like
because
BS.
like look what because they had the Kabuki Warriors were kind of feuding with Becky and Charlotte, and then that was like started getting into Royal Rumble season, and then they were like, well, okay, forget that. But they only like Asuka. They don't think Kairi Sane's legit at all. So they're like, all right, Asuka, you'll just wrestle in singles matches, and it's like, but she's a tag champ. Like, why don't they
Exactly.
wrestle in tag matches? Because there's no other women's tag teams. Well, then why create the belts?
Yeah, and that's the one thing. Absolutely. And they said though, like after WrestleMania, the Iconics are supposed to come back and repackage. So we'll see. That's one of the rumors that they have.
And
So
maybe you
we'll
know
see
what?
what they do.
Maybe they'll. Hopefully, if you do that, hopefully they just beat down Alexa and Nikki at WrestleMania. They win
Well,
it. They
maybe they
celebrate it.
come,
Go. They
or
come
they
out.
can come,
Boom, boom.
they can come Jean Paul like after WrestleMania, the Monday after WrestleMania, because that's supposed to be one of the most important shows. Although WWE, as far as I know, they already have tape. The Raw after WrestleMania, in case. That's
Mm.
what I know. In case like they need something, they already have it taped. So Jean Paul, next match, something that didn't really quite sense. I don't know why they're still having this match, but Jean Paul, like always says, they have to put everybody on the freaking card. So Alistair Black going against the person that beat coronavirus, and I will keep calling him the
The
Almighty.
Almighty. The
He
Almighty.
is the Almighty from for all I care. Bobby Lucius Lashley, BLL. So who wins and why?
I mean, I hope Alistair Black wins. I think that's what they're gonna go with. I don't think you're gonna slow down his momentum. Like you said, this match literally makes no sense. I kind of proposed a little bit of a storyline where he get a black masked Lana, but I feel like if they do continue this storyline, I feel he's going to divorce Lana because he's already getting annoyed with her. So he would probably actually, pop for the black mask on Lana, and maybe he's giving her the black mask as well. I don't know, but that's the whole thing. I don't really know why the story's even happening. So Alistair Black, Black Mass
Alistair
and done.
Black.
Done.
Alistair Black, I feel that like they're pushing him. Like you said that before, like probably he was gonna get in a program into like the United States Championship. It will be really good if he kind of gets into the WWE Championship picture. That would be really good. So unfortunately, Bobby Lashley, they don't have any faith in him. He can be Vince McMahon's lack of creativity. So
Yeah,
whatever. It is
and
what it is.
like you
But
said,
like Alistair Black.
everybody says how he was so legit in TNA and stuff. Well, like I'm watching old TNA, so I'm eventually gonna get to him. I want to see if he is legit or if he's always been like you said. This just like he's not bad in the ring for being a big guy, but it's like as soon as he gets on the mic and every storyline he's been put in has been
So
bullshit. Yeah.
yeah, it's just like charisma vacuum, and that one is you're absolutely correct, John Paul. So next match is the Raw Tag Team Championships. They had to change like the lineup for this match. It's gonna be the Street Profits defending against Angel Garza and Austin Theory with Selena Vega. I feel this match is gonna be really legit. Like these
Yeah,
four
I mean,
guys can really
yeah.
turn the house down.
If Montez Ford isn't dead from completely botching his tope, like,
Yes, yes. You even sent me a
I mean,
thing, right? Like the
yeah,
kids and everything.
I watched that this morning again. I still was like laughing. I'm like, oh my! I mean, it's not funny, but it's funny at the same time because it's like, oh my god, he completely missed that. Like, and what's his name? Who
Austin Theory.
Austin Theory didn't even like move. Now I'm not. He shouldn't have. It's not like he dodged and it's like, oh, that's why Ford hit the ground. Ford just didn't aim that at all. Like he just
But
sent
like
himself out there.
I
I mean, Austin Theory could have moved to catch him, but normally you don't because that looks really obvious. Like
I
what
guess,
I
but
mean?
like to me, like I guess Austin Theory maybe kind of get more in the way because that way
Yeah,
he kind of like like gets Montez and he doesn't hit like completely
yeah.
like the ground. But I mean,
But
yeah.
yeah, I
So
mean, But from what I feel like, the faces are gonna win. Like, you're not gonna give the Raw tag titles to this team because this is just a makeshift. They're putting a band-aid on a bullet hole. Like, it's not really gonna save this match. It's like, okay, yeah, it's cool, but it's like there was no real storyline. Sense and would have been WrestleMania worthy, in my opinion, would have been AOP versus the Street Profits. Because at least the storyline's there because they're feuding with Seth Rollins and his, disciples. AOP were his first guys he recruited, and it's like, so tag team versus tag team. Oh, that makes sense. Instead, they're like, oh, let's take Angel Garza and Andrade because they're both legit. Because Rey Mysterio quarantined himself, so we couldn't do the ladder match or whatever they were going to do, the 4-way, 3-way, whatever match you were going to do. But then just don't have Andrade on the show. I don't know, or put him and Alistair Black together. Have Zelina cheat, and then it's like, oh, okay, whatever. At least it would have been a legit match.
It would have been better, but you know that Razor is injured, and you know how long he's going to be out? 9 months. So completely he's going to be done. So another whole year for the AOP to be out of action. And like you said, hopefully they do something with Akam. He needs to just be his own self because you're not going to suffer.
I would just put him in. I would just put Akam and Buddy Murphy in the tag team. They can just be called the Disciples of Rollins or something. You know what I mean? Just some kind of, make it a little more interesting than that. But just give them some name like the Disciples or the, whatever. And just have them be a tag team. Because it's like, what are you doing with them? If they're still with Rollins, at least that.
And at least you're keeping the other guy in action. It sucks for Akam to just be waiting on Razor. That doesn't make any sense. But like you said, I think that the Street Profits just retain. Just because Garza and Austin Theory is just a brand new team.
Yeah,
and they're just put together to make the show. Yeah. So,
and is this Austin Theory's Monday Night Raw debut? Is he done on NXT? No, this was just, like I said, a random thing thrown together, and you're not going to give a tag team like that.
Exactly. So, example, next match. This is something that we like. This is something that we are really interested in. They kind of tarnish the story. They kind of are damaging a little bit of it, but at least it's going to be a match. It's a singles match. It's going to be Dolph Ziggler against Otis.
Yeah, like you said, we were excited to see it. I think it could have been booked way more legit. I've been saying it every SmackDown. You should have made this for the tag titles, but we're getting this instead. I'm going to go with Dolph Ziggler. I see them taking the storyline a little bit longer. I don't know if it's going to call them, if this is going to be the ending of it, but I could just see that because Vince loves that. He loves getting off. He doesn't love the happy ending, especially when the happy ending is a fat guy going over. He's going to be like, no, super kick the fat pig and and he laughed. And he's like, now let's go to Braun Strowman losing to Goldberg. You know what I mean? And so I'm going with Dolph Ziggler. Like I said, I hope it's not the ending. I hope the heel doesn't go over in the end. I hope Otis gets his revenge and eventually wins. Maybe eventually make it for the tag belts, but I'm going with Dolph Ziggler. I think I'm going to be in the minority here. I think everybody's going to go with Otis, but
all right. Well, and in my mind, I'm going to go with Otis because all the same reason that you're just stating. I want my WrestleMania moment. Jean Paul is like, this, and they need to do this on WrestleMania. It's going to be a WrestleMania moment. And hopefully Mandy turns against Dolph, and then she aligns with Otis. So that will be, I'm not expecting from them making out, starting to do Pornhub or any of that matter. But I'm just saying, hey, at least a kiss, a hug or something that insinuates that they're together or something.
It could even be like Mario and Peach, where you save Peach in the games and she kisses Mario on his forehead or on his nose, and it's like, what the hell is this? It's I just went through all this bullshit, and that's what I get on the nose. Really? Come on, not even on the cheek.
That's what I mean. So I hope that's what happens. Is hopefully they deliver a decent match, and hopefully also, like I said, Otis gets the win because that's what everybody wants. Ever since this story, they've been carrying this since November. Yep. So now we're going to go to a match that nobody really gives a single damn about, and I said damn, and I'm not going to bleep it out. Yeah, we're not going to bleep it out. Elias against King Corbin. I don't care who wins. I'm just saying Elias wins. There you go.
But yeah, I'm going to go with Elias. I think Corbin, they're going to give him the loss. Elias has jobbed out way too many times on WrestleMania. I feel like they're actually kind of pushing him now. So I'm going to go with Elias. We'll see. I don't know. I don't care either.
We don't have anything to say about this match. We don't have anything to say because the build-up is stupid.
Thanks, Gronkowski. Thanks for this match.
Thank
I
you,
owe
Rob. You know, like,
I owe you a bullshit WrestleMania host, appearance or something. I owe you a
yeah.
beer at the club or whatever. He's a piece of
At
shit.
least at least Alexa was hot. So that's all I gotta say on that. So now let's go to triple threat ladder match. New Day, the Usos, and Miz and Morrison. But we know that the Miz is not going to be performing there. So I think what they did, I'm not sure. Like again, there's not even a spoiler, but I think that they had like each member of the team.
Oh, just
Instead of
one
having
guy. So it's just a
so
triple
like three
threat.
of them. I think that's what like I heard they might do, but we don't even know what that's gonna
Okay.
have.
Well,
How that's gonna look.
I'm gonna be honest with you. All the guys that are in this match are extremely talented, except one. The one guy who got sick. So to
Yes,
me, it's like, I hope he gets better. Again, I don't want anybody to get sick and, deathly ill from this. I want everybody to get through it. But if I get to see like Morrison, Kofi, and Jimmy or Jay, either one, I feel like they're both evenly talented. I don't think one is better than the other. If you have the three of them in a match, to me, that's still legit. Because John Morrison is legit. Like I said, Kofi, I would put him in there because he's more agile, doing springboards, jumping on the ladder, this and that. And like I said, Jimmy or Jay, I'll watch it. I mean, this would have been a legit tag team match as well. It's just the storyline for it isn't really there. But the match itself, if you give it 15 minutes, will be a hell of a match. So,
yeah, it would be. So, to me, again, I don't because of the Miz not being there. I don't see a title switch. I don't see it.
yeah.
Maybe it will happen. So I want to keep it. I want to give it again to Miz and
Yeah,
Morrison.
that's true. I mean, I was just kind of explaining myself, but I didn't really give a team. I would probably, I mean, for the same thing you said, I guess I would go with Miz and Morrison. I don't really see, like I said, the story's not even there. You almost forget this is even for the tag belts because they're not even, like I said,
They don't make the title feel special.
Yeah,
It's just a piece of prop. It doesn't feel like you want that so bad that you're gonna do whatever it
yeah.
takes to be
Like how
champion.
do you remember back in the day? And I feel like they don't ever do this. Like when the champion came out and he's standing in the ring cutting a promo, he holds up. They never like zoom in on the belt. They never like
Yeah,
just whatever. It's always just like, oh yeah, I have the belt around my waist, and it's like, okay,
it's a prop that
yeah.
like it's a prop that like either like is some
Like they
people
should
love
be
it. Some people,
holding up the belt, and then the camera zooms in on them holding up the belt. Like
the
that's what it should
prestige
be
has
about.
been
But
completely
yeah,
lost when it
but
comes to that. But now
I'm
another
definitely gonna
title,
go with like Morrison as well. So.
another title jump ball that like completely lost his prestige, and that's why he's so down in the card. It's Sami Zayn, Intercontinental Champion, defending against Daniel Bryan, and in this one, I'm gonna give it to I want to give it to Sami. I'm just gonna I want Sami to have a legit run. He's a good wrestler. He deserves so much better than what he has so far. I don't understand why they do this. I feel that like he should have been champion so many times already, and the fact that like they go against Daniel Bryan, I hope that they don't pull the trigger right away and actually Sami goes over.
Yeah,
That's my
I
prediction.
I'm gonna go. My gut is telling me to go with Daniel Bryan just because it's like they have no faith in Sami Zayn. I don't know who he pissed off, whose oatmeal he pissed in, what the story is, but they don't like him. They don't like anybody on that team. Nakamura, Cesaro, him. They're like, you guys were legit in NXT, jobbers, done. And it's like, okay, like I don't understand this, but I'm going to go with you as well because I feel with everything Daniel Bryan, every time he's in a storyline, he's kind of writing it. He's deciding like who's going to go over. He has a lot of creative control. I don't think he would job out Sami Zayn like this. I mean, obviously it comes down to Vince McMahon. He has the final word, I assume, but I'm going to go with Sami Zayn winning here as well because also Daniel Bryan, I think he's getting fed up with the company. All the stuff that they're doing, especially with this. And earlier there was report that he was thinking about being done, which I think is just for him to leave and go wrestle somewhere else. But I don't know. So I see Sami Zayn winning this as well.
Hopefully we see that because I feel that like it will be good for Sami Zayn to finally have his WrestleMania moment because he's never had a WrestleMania moment and Daniel Bryan has so many of them. So
Yeah,
give the
exactly.
guy a chance, put somebody else over. And now, Jean Paul, we're gonna go to one of the greatest promos yesterday night on Monday Night Raw show. Please watch it; it's on our channel. So we have a great discussion, a whole hour of reviewing Monday Night Raw. Great promo by Kevin Owens that he pretty much stated that he's going to make Seth Rollins like his bitch. I'm going to show you that you're not the Messiah, you're not a saint, you're not God, you're not a disciple, you're not neither one of those characters that we'll mention in the Bible. You're just a fucking idiot that I'm going to beat 1, 2, 3 with one stunner. So Seth Rollins against Kevin Owens. Jean-Paul, your thoughts?
I'm gonna say that the feud is done here. I'm gonna go with Kevin Owens. It's hard to me. I could see them stretching this out because they're like, man, we really can't think of any other storylines moving forward. Everything with coronavirus, we want to be as lazy and minimal as possible. So we'll just keep this Monday Night Messiah and Kevin Owens feud going. I really hope that's not the case and they end it here. I'm going with Kevin Owens. Let him get his moment. Otherwise, he looks like a fool. Everything he said, he looked like a fool. So give him his moment. Let him beat Seth Rollins, whether it be clean, whether there's interference from Murphy and Akam, whatever the story may be. Let him get, because the Viking Raiders, then you'll get them on the card. They can beat down the other two guys. And then that's what you do. Kevin Owens gets his moment. I'm going with Kevin Owens.
I agree, Mr. Egg, and I feel that like it will be good again for Kevin Owens because Seth Rollins, the last 3 WrestleManias, he's got wins. Because he beat Triple H in 17, he beat Miz and Finn Balor 18, 19 he beat Brock Lesnar. So 3 wins in a row. Like, come on, like just give me a lose. You know, who cares? You know, you're not the champion. You're not going for the title. Maybe after this you might go to the title if McIntyre wins, but we're going to go over that a little later. So give the win to Kevin Owens. I feel that that will be really good for him. So I feel one stunner and done. Good rivalry. Like you said, hopefully they ended it now. So Jean-Paul, now we're getting to the main stuff. Like the main matches in the WrestleMania card. There's not going to go, people. They're not going to go in this order. It's just going to be split up like legit matches and kind of like lower card matches in both nights. So a little bit of both they're going to have.
Well, you didn't mention the SmackDown Women's Championship yet, so I wouldn't put that in the legit category. I think that should have been in the first section, but...
Yeah, there you go. See, that's Mr. Egg always. Yeah, he always carries me alone. So like, if I'm dropping the ball, he gets it, and then we move on. But now that you brought that up, let's talk about it. The 5-tag challenge: Bayley, Sasha Banks, Tamina, Lacey Evans, Naomi. SmackDown Women's Championship on the line.
Now, if you would take the scissors, cut out 3 of them women, and have it be a one-on-one Bayley and Sasha, then I would say, yes, this is where this match belongs because let these 2 women tear the house down. But instead, we're getting all this filler, and they'll probably only give them 8 minutes for this match, maybe 10, 12 max. So I'm going to go with – I'm still going to go with Sasha Banks. I think they're going to do a title change, and then that should be the story running forward. But I could also see them being extremely lazy with this show and just have all the champions retained. For every single championship match, I could just see all the champs retaining, and they're like, "We'll just keep the feuds going," because, like I said, they are lazy and they don't want to think of any new creative right now, which I don't blame them. But then postpone the shows, just stop the shows for.
Show. Make it look a little better. I'm gonna go with the second choice that you mentioned. I'm gonna go with actually Bayley retains. I'm just saying like. They don't want to pull the trigger with Sasha and Bayley yet. I mean, they kind of like tease it, but maybe this will come to legit full fruition when it comes to SummerSlam time. So this will be like kind of like the tease. For example, let's say Sasha might be about to win it, and Bayley's the one that like stops the count or something like that.
I mean, she should even do like the backstabber and then like the bank statement, like the submission. Bayley comes off the rope, so like the elbow, whatever, and then gets like steals the pin or whatever, like you said. Like do something like that, and then maybe that'll kickstart their feud. Hopefully that's what they do, but
exactly. So that's like that's long-term booking for Jean-Paul. So I feel like all the other women are just fillers. Unfortunately, I feel bad for her. She's not. I think a pretty good person. That would have been at least a chance for her to have a match at WrestleMania.
And I feel like and I feel like Carmella would have been in as well, but then, like we said, we reported she's really sick, so she's obviously not wrestling. So
yes, exactly. So hopefully she gets better one more time. Wish her like positive energy to Carmella. So now Jean-Paul, John Cena, going against the Fiend Bray Wyatt. Here's we go with this stuff. So who do you think is gonna win?
Oh man, I'm gonna say the Fiend. Like, I don't think John Cena is going to be pulling these out of his hat. Like, I mean, he wants to lose more times than win. I feel like that's clearly evident with everything that we've seen from the past couple of years with John Cena. I think he's going to do the same here. Because, he knows. He's probably like, if you would ask him behind closed doors, he's like, I don't think the Fiend should have lost to Goldberg. This match at WrestleMania should be John Cena versus the Fiend for the title, and John Cena loses. You know what I mean? Like, this whole thing the Fiend should still be champion because he's trying to get the Fiend over. He's trying to make the Fiend more popular again, more believable. So he's going to do the job. We're going to see, you know, maybe Mandible Claw. He passes out. Ding, ding, ding. 1, 2, 3, done. You know, whatever the stipulations are. But I'm going with the Fiend.
Fiend Bray Wyatt, I want to say that, like, the only way that you can possibly resurrect Bray Wyatt as the Fiend is to get a win to go over John Cena.
Exactly.
If you can do that, at least people will be like, okay, this guy is not completely dead. And I can actually go along the lines that you just said. Cena is back to put people over. He probably is disgusted by the idea of Goldberg being the champion, knowing all the work, all the time, all the effort that they put to become this character, to make this character, the Fiend Bray Wyatt, like over as big as it was. So he's probably gonna give him the win, and also, like I told you, like they're kind of like doing this match in like an old building. They're gonna have a lot of cinematic. They're gonna make it really, really different. So it's not gonna be holding the ring. I can tell you that it's gonna be very different. So I hope that like the Fiend gets the win, just because like this is gonna at least give him some fresh air. It's gonna, you know, add a little bit more like hours to his life. Because, you know, it's gonna be like, you know, like the respirator. You know, and I know that like I shouldn't use that kind of analogy talking about all these people suffering, but it's just is proper for like is going to be some life for the Fiend, because if he loses, you know, Bray Wyatt, please go to
done.
Please, yeah, it's so done. The match I think is going to be kind of like good. You know, Cena and Wyatt, they show that they can have some chemistry, so we'll see what happens. But to me, Fiend needs to win, and at least Mr. Egg believes the same thing. So now we're going to go to NXT Women's Championship match. Rhea Ripley going against the Queen, Charlotte Flair. Jump on.
I'm gonna go with Rhea Ripley just because, like I said, I really can't see Charlotte Flair being on NXT. I mean, she clearly she was on NXT to make appearances here and there, but full time Wednesday night? She's not going to be on Raw, the show that has the highest ratings. You know, SmackDown. She's not going to be on one of those A-list main roster shows. No, that's where she's gonna be. They're just using this to get Rhea over, which, I mean, she's already over. I don't know why they're, like, pushing her to the moon like this. This would have been a feud. I would have done it where she gets called up to the main roster. Then you do this feud. But, I mean, I don't know what, like I said, I don't know what they're going to do. Because anybody coming out of this women's ladder match from NXT, like, I don't feel like they're going to be that believable going against Rhea Ripley unless you play up some injury angle where she's, like, kind of injured and then bullshit. Like, again, like, they're just making these two women's, like, superstar status, but I'm going with Rhea Ripley. Like I said, I don't know. They're rocket strapping her to the moon, but I don't get that. But that's what they're doing, so that's what I'm going with.
That's what they're doing, yeah, and I hope that they do a little bit like something like pull like a swerve or something. But like I gotta agree with you. I feel it's gonna be Rhea Ripley. I don't see Charlotte going to NXT because first of all, Charlotte is not like a rating, you know, improve. She's she's not gonna boost your ratings. She's not somebody that you know you're gonna make like your 2.0 to like a 2.5, a 2.6 in ratings. She's not a draw when it comes to that. She's part of the show. She's not the show. You know, I don't think that people going, yeah, I want to see Charlotte Flair, and I don't care whatever happens after that. So for that reason, no, I really don't think that will be the case. I feel that like they're doing Rhea Ripley because probably they feel that Rhea is going to take the torch from Charlotte. I don't know if Charlotte is getting ready to be done. I don't think so. But it's just like, I guess, like they promise Charlotte many things with Vince when it comes to that. Like she said, you're going to be in profile matches. But like Becky, we're already tired of seeing that. You know, Bayley, we've seen that already. So what's the next? Nobody else. Rhea. But I don't really see her winning, you know, that championship and then kind of going back to Monday Night Raw. So I feel that like it's just going to stay. If they want to do something, for example, Rhea Ripley, like in let's say with the AEW effect, you need like your champion on NXT saying that you're the best champion out of all the whole WWE. So that's why she gets a win over Charlotte. You can say, oh, okay, like she's the main woman. It doesn't matter what Becky Lynch is, you know, in Raw, and that will be the next matchup. You know, at some point it will be Rhea Ripley going against Becky Lynch. You know, that will be like the next feud, I feel. But like, so I really think that Charlotte loses just because you need Rhea Ripley strong. And the one woman that I will say like could do potentially some harm to Rhea Ripley will be Io Shirai.
I agree. I agree as well, but the way like Io, she just come back from injury, so she has that momentum. But it's just like I don't know. Like I said, they just make ever since a War Games match, I'm like Shayna's like Roman Reigns. Like she's not gonna lose. Like she's just gonna power out and win. Like
Yeah.
I said,
No,
yeah,
yeah,
and
it's just gonna kick
they
that out
really
of
made it.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree with you. Like I don't. Hopefully, like I said, like they give me, for example, a good matchup, like Io
Mhm.
Shirai, like healthy, ready to go, Rhea
Yep.
Ripley, healthy. Let's go, girls. Give me what you know what to do. Give me
Yep.
your craft, not your
Mhm.
crap. Your craft.
Yeah.
So Jean Paul, talking about women that hate each other, kind of like I will say like a 50-50 rivalry. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's intense, sometimes I care, sometimes I don't care. Shayna Baszler, Becky Lynch, the man that is not a man that actually has ovaries. There you go. Championship match on the line. I feel Shayna Baszler needs to win because she needs to just win. If you want me to care, if you want me to be invested in the women's division on Monday Night Raw, I need Shayna Baszler to become the new Raw Women's Champion.
You said it perfectly. I can't say it any better. Like Shayna Baszler needs to win. Otherwise, the Raw division is dead. Shayna Baszler's dead. It's already on life support. Like the women's division is non-existent, and you have so much. Paul Heyman said, not when he was talking about the men, but the women too. There's so much talent in this locker room more than ever before, and the creative for this talent is dead, and it makes them look all like losers. So if you want to start, changing that in the other direction, you need to give Shayna Baszler the belt.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They need fresh matchups. This season is, all of us, the whole entire world are kind of tired, uncomfortable, sad, like any other negative feeling
Mm-hmm.
that you have. We've been, in prison. We've been enclosed for all this time. We feel that like we've lost all this time. Like, like this whole 2020 feels like it's done. What can you do as a company that you're telling stories? What can you do when you create, give them new people to root for, to like
Mm-hmm.
to cheer for, and that's Shayna Baszler right there. She had a great run on NXT. Do it. Don't you agree?
I do, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. You gotta instead of keep giving people the same old, not just because of what's going on for everything you said, but also like how do you expect to still be the top dog, in the pro wrestling world? Because eventually, if you keep giving crap, eventually AEW is going to start beating Monday Night Raw. If you
Yes.
give it might not be this year, might not be next year, but in 2, 3, 4 years from now, if they don't change, AEW will be the number one company. People will be like, "Oh yeah, WWE. They used to be awesome, but now it's AEW." You know.
And yeah, it is the truth. Like yeah, I have nothing more to say. You're right. Like at this rate, AEW is getting better. It's getting better, and at some point they're gonna be over WWE if they don't change. So Jean Paul, boneyard match. We don't even know what that's about. We don't know what the rules are. We don't know what like the stipulations are on that. We just know that two men absolutely hate each other. We know that two men have been calling each other out, taking it to personal levels that no one else has ever done to
Mm-hmm.
the Undertaker or to Mark or to Alan AJ Styles.
Mark Calloway and Alan Jones.
Yes,
Whoosh.
yes, like me and Mark against Alan. We don't care about like Mark Calloway going against Alan Jones, but I care about AJ Styles going against the Undertaker.
I mean, this
So
match, this match is definitely one of my favorites on the card. The build-up has been not as great as it could have been, but the promos that these two guys can deliver will get you excited. That promo by The Undertaker last night was extremely legit. I don't mind like the Michelle McCool aspect. I would have thought it would have been cool to do like the Phenom versus the Phenomenal one. And because earlier when he was calling out The Undertaker for being old and washed up, like to me that could have been enough motivation. But if calling out Michelle McCool gives us the American Badass, I'll take it. You know what I mean? That's awesome to see him again and to see that gimmick. Because in this Boneyard match, like we said, we don't know what's going on. But I'm gonna go with all that, momentum on the Undertaker's side. I'm gonna go with AJ Styles because honestly, what would a win for the Undertaker do? What would that? I mean, it would be a cool WrestleMania win, but it's like you have way more mileage on AJ Styles than you do the Undertaker. So why not
yeah,
give AJ some momentum? And if
yeah, I
he's
will
a
actually
and if
agree.
he's a heel, and if he's a heel and he's still on Monday Night Raw, a win over the Undertaker is pretty monumental. that could almost mean that you could be challenging for a WWE Championship against a new white-hot babyface in Drew McIntyre. You see what I did
And
there? That's how you. That's
it's
how
a
you.
good, yeah. It actually is good. I like it. I like it. I feel that I love it, but at the same time, I'm a mark, and I'm gonna be a mark. I'm gonna try
Mhm.
to take my objectivity to the side, and if he's bringing the American Badass back, I want the Undertaker to win.
Mhm.
But your idea with AJ Styles is absolutely brilliant. It's
But now,
marvelous.
and now
It's
here's another
delightful.
thing too. I will also, Matt Hardy. I will also do if the Undertaker is ready to go for a couple more matches. I will watch the Undertaker versus Drew McIntyre, but he can't beat him for the title. But I'll watch
Oh,
that
no, he
match.
has to. If Goldberg can, then he has to.
No,
If it's 3 minutes, I can watch the Undertaker in 5 minutes. One chokeslam tombstone and done. I
no
wouldn't be
way.
upset.
But that would
But like,
be legit. But like I mean, that I would be fine with seeing both of them. But I'm gonna go with AJ just for the sense that it's like I feel like that's the smart thing to do. But we've seen the Undertaker and Goldberg and all those guys before beat guys who they probably shouldn't have. So we'll see what they
yeah,
do.
like when it comes to like if I'm a booker, if I'm trying to do the best for what for business, I go with your idea because
Mm-hmm.
that how like that AJ will be pushed to the moon. Hey, go against McIntyre, a great feud right there. If I'm the fan and I just want to see the Undertaker winning, I want the Undertaker to win. But if they want to do the right thing for the people, for the fans, have AJ win. There's nothing else for the Undertaker. You don't need the Undertaker to do anything for the business besides putting people over, and that's what they have to do. So, Jean Paul, we're going to one of the worst matchups in sports entertainment, and one of the worst
Here it
champions in
is.
sports
Here it
entertainment
is.
ever. We're gonna go to somebody that very defeating in 3 minutes. Goldberg going against somebody that is a disgrace for the business, is somebody that does not respect the business,
Yep.
doesn't support the business, because if you work in a business and you don't support people that are lower than you just because you were entitled to something, and you should try to be more
Yeah,
sympathetic
yeah,
to them.
You're a piece of trash if you don't help those out who are trying to, build this business up that you're a part of. If you don't help them out, you're a piece of shit. Plain and simple.
Exactly. So, and that's the replacement. And we're not talking about Roman Reigns. For the ones that think it's Roman Reigns, no. It's the Braun Strowman family. Like, he is the replacement for Goldberg. So this is the one of the few times that I want Goldberg to kick his ass. I want a spear. And of course, it's not going to be a jackhammer because probably cannot lift him. And if he does, he's going to break his neck. But, like, hopefully Goldberg retains. Jumbo.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%. I'm just picturing him trying to lift him up for the jackhammer, and it just like he has him, and then they kind of fall, and somebody breaks their neck, somebody does something, and it's like. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Goldberg too. Like I said, the plan is still Roman Reigns. They're not. What are they gonna do? What are we supposed to see? Goldberg again? Excuse me. Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman for the title, and Strowman is the Universal Champion. No way. No
Yes.
freaking way. They're gonna
Yes.
keep it on Goldberg, and eventually, as soon as they can, they're gonna drop the strap to Roman Reigns. So this match
And
will be pointless.
that's what it's
3-4
going, which
minutes.
is
Yeah, they'll probably brawl on the outside. He'll do his train around the thing. He'll tackle Goldberg. He'll go around for a second time, go to tackle Goldberg. Goldberg will hit a spear on him, throw him back in the ring, pin him. He'll kick out. He'll hit another spear and done.
exactly.
I
So
just booked the whole match. There you go.
pretty much, and that's what's going to happen. We don't have any single interest whatsoever. We're just telling you who's replacing him because Roman already. We reported this. Jean Paul even told me, like I think it was on Thursday night. We knew about it. We reported it, and Roman came out yesterday. He sent a video on his Instagram saying he won't be a part of it. Hey, I need to look out for myself. This virus is so contagious. It's pretty much a threat for the whole entire world. I just bailed from WrestleMania. It's a check that I don't mind cashing in. So
Mm-hmm.
you know what? We respect that from Roman. Hey, we like Joe. I know why. Like we always said many times, we absolutely despise his character as Roman Reigns. But I feel that like he did the right call. And now I'm gonna take you to the WWE Championship match: Brock Lesnar and Drew McIntyre. Why? Because for me, the main event is going to be the last man standing match, like Jean Paul said. So we're going to talk about Brock and Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. Who wins and why?
This one is tough for the same reasons that they could want to continue this feud. and have Lesnar be champ. You know, everything Paul Heyman said in his promo last night was true, especially with Lesnar always being champ because, you know, he's the best and like they always depend on him to be champ, especially when times are tough, and there's no tougher time than now. But I'm really hoping that they pull the trigger on Drew McIntyre, whether his win is in front of, you know, 50,000 or whether it's in front of, you know, nobody. I think his time to win is now. Otherwise, his Royal Rumble win and everything like that was pointless. I know hindsight's 2020, but you still got to just pull the trigger now. Hey, who cares? Let him win. And that's why I'm going with Drew McIntyre. I feel like hopefully they do the right thing and, you know, they go with him.
I really feel that like they need to do McIntyre just because everybody's rooting for him. The winning at the Royal Rumble was monumental. Like you said, it was groundbreaking. It's like we were pretty much suffering. It was like pretty much it was a heart attack.com. Because we were like, oh my God, Roman's going to win. And why is he always the last one to be eliminated? Yep. Why can't just get, you know, a different guy to be in the final two? Why can't we just get something that we've been asking for the longest time? And that's Drew McIntyre to be the guy that he deserves to be. He looks like as one of the main guys. Give him the guy a chance. I think that like it is the right time. It should be like even Lesnar loves it. Lesnar has been loving this whole feud. Even Drew has been stating in so many interviews that he's been talking about. He says he's making me a superstar. Remember when we saw in that Monday Night Raw that you beautifully cover? Remember, like he does the third Claymore kick, and McIntyre's like, you know, like kind of, and you hear him grab the title, grab the title, and he goes, oh. So thank you. And so you see that Lesnar is invested. If Lesnar is invested, he's going to make you look like $1 million. You know, Lesnar is a very smart guy, business driven, so he knows when he sees money in it, he'll make you look legit, and that's what he's going to happen with McIntyre. I really hope that like they portray this match legit. You know, Suplex City bitch all alone, blah blah blah. F5, he kicks out, Claymore kick, future shock, headbutt, you know, Glasgow kiss, done.
Yep.
I really hope that that's what they do. We'll see. We mentioned yesterday they record multiple endings to the matches, so we'll see what they do. If Swerve and Brock Lesnar retains, I'm going to be pissed. And then we're going to be ranting, and hopefully that's night 1 and not night 2, but we'll see. We don't really know the order. The only one that Jean Paul did mention, Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens stated twice, is going to be on Saturday. So that's where we're going to be talking. So now, Jean Paul, main event. Rated R superstar coming back, 9 years in the making. For many people, he was done. Career was over. You know, we just got to go and sit and watch from the sidelines. But no, Edge, stem cells, all of that. Like a lot of therapy, a lot of, I want to say effort, a lot of intensity, the desire of coming back and retire like he's been saying in all the interviews in his own terms. Randy Orton, last man standing match.
This will, like you said, main event. This will definitely be one of the most legit matches next to, in my opinion, the Boneyard match and the match we also stated, the Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre. Like you said, there's just so much emotion, and like this is how you get people invested in a storyline. You give them this kind of real, raw emotion, and you know you talk about the past, and you bring all that stuff into the storyline. It makes it seem a lot more legit than half these other feuds that we're seeing on the show. So that's why, like, again, this should be the main event. And how do you not go with Edge? What are you going to, Randy Orton wins and what? Then everybody's like, so I'm depressed. Edge is dead. You know, like, no, Edge wins.
Oh, yeah.
And then,
I'm dragging. I have no energy. Like, for some people, I don't know what to do. Yep. So you can do that. Yeah. So, yeah, like you said, it has to be Edge. It has to be a good match because Orton is gonna like put like a legit show, and I think because they get along, they're really close. They're gonna like really work things out, like making like the match look legit. There's gonna be a lot of times that like Edge is like pretty much done. A few RKO's will go, and then a few spears, and then done.
Yeah, like you said, it's a last man standing, so that is definitely an aspect to it. Like he could hit the I could see him even hitting an RKO, and then it's like, oh, like he's done. And it's like and then it maybe be like an 8 count, and then Randy Orton picks him up, and he's like, no, I'm not going to have it. Like, I want to keep torturing him. And then that continues the match, and then Edge counters back. Like, there's so much you could really play with it and really give it like that, also, like that really, a real emotion. And that's what I hope they do.
I really hope I think they might do some point. Concerto. That's how you're supposed to end it. Edge, boom, boom, done.
Yep.
After the spear, concerto, and done. And Beth Phoenix comes out, and his daughters come out, and then they all hug, and they're like, "You're a piece of shit, Randy. This is what you get. Now back."
That would be legit if like Beth hits him with a move
That
or
would be the
something.
glam slam. Or like,
Yeah.
or something. Like it will be legit, and then see the whole thing comes together. Like you said, the whole story, like it just goes full circle. That will be really good. Hopefully that's what they do. But just to see Edge coming back for me is like, my childhood. Like when I was 12, 13, I started watching the Attitude Era and Edge and Christian. Like this guy, the music. You think you know me. Like
Mhm.
this guy was like so legit. Do I think that he deserved to be the champion, like 11-time world champion? No.
Yeah.
I
No.
don't think that he was that legit, but his character and everything, he knew how to portray himself. See, I would say maybe a 5-time, 6-time, and then those other 5 give it to Christian. Just
Mhm.
because I like them both in the same in the same amount. I will
Do you
say
give it to
equally.
Christian or give more to guys like Eddie, or Benoit, guys like that, who don't
Yes.
just give it to Triple H, Cena, Edge, Orton. You don't just bounce it between those guys, and it's like everyone
Yeah,
else is
you
like,
just like, yeah. Oh, it's your turn, Jean Paul. Here,
yeah,
2 months. Nah, give me
yeah,
back. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Oh, it's
yeah,
your turn again. Yep. Oh, you're candidate to Mania. Here. Like no. It should have been
exactly.
more like you said, Eddie a few more times. Benoit should have been way more times. And even if you ask Edge himself, he would have been like, "Would you ever give some of your title reigns to Benoit?" He would say, "Hell yeah, hell yeah."
Yeah,
Because you don't.
yeah, or
You don't
and like you said too, Christian. There's so many guys who were disrespected in that era, but maybe that's a video for another day.
It will be a video for another day. And see, this concludes our WrestleMania predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Put us in the comments like who you guys want to watch, like some of the outcomes that you guys think. Oh yeah, you guys are right on this. You guys are wrong. Let us know about that. It will be a big, big coverage. Saturday and Sunday we will be like talking about this. We will have videos about every single match. It will be dissecting every single thing because that's what we do, and we have the time in the world right now. Because in glorified imprisonment,
Hmm?
you can get some perks, and that's talk about professional wrestling. So, Jean Paul, any closing thoughts on that? Are you excited about the Mania? Are you
No,
ready to?
I'm
Does it
excited
feel
as it.
WrestleMania for you?
No, it doesn't feel WrestleMania season at all in the slightest. I don't remember. Maybe like 2 WrestleManias ago, I was kind of excited. 2 or 3 ago. Ever since then, like they kind of been getting less and less. Last year, I was a little excited. This year, though, I mean, again, with everything going on, it kind of distracts you, but not really into it too much. Besides those handful of matches we talked about there at the end, the Boneyard, Last Man Standing, John Cena and the Fiend, Drew McIntyre, Lesnar. There will be some legit stuff, but it'll be what it is. Like I always say, it is what it is.
It is what it is, and but we will be here to talk about it. So thank you so very much, family, for watching. Don't forget to please subscribe right there and hit the bell for the notifications. Thank you to every single one of you that keep watching us. New, current, past, now, and forever. Our fans,
Yep.
we love you. We care about you. We want you to stay safe, healthy. We're gonna get over this, family, and also check us out in the social media world. Jean Paul put a
Yep.
great video about Kalisto. I was laughing my ass off, and that was really great. So that's the kind of stuff that we give you, family. Something that you can at least smile and forget about whatever's going on in your life, in your world, and everything. So, in the name of Jean Paul and myself, we both want to say,
Uh,